So, Jonathan Ruiz, your accounting coach, survival tips. So, nagbabalik po tayo after the lesson about inventory. So, I hope you are enjoying every lessons that I'm sharing. Okay? And if you haven't subscribed, please click the subscribe button. And I would be grateful and thankful if you can share it with your families and friends that you think they need this type of video lessons. And if they are CPA aspirants, so please do share it with them. I hope they will be able to learn from this lesson as well. Okay, so thank you so much. And for today, I want to move in a very special topic actually, because they want to learn. Most of the followers, they want to learn about investments. Okay, so my topic will be about investments. Okay, so let's move on. First, I would like to give you what is investments actually. So these are assets held by an entity for the accretion of wealth through distribution of such interest, such as interest, royalties, dividends, and rentals, for capital appreciation or other benefits to the investing entity, such as those obtained through trading relationships. Okay, ang company kasi, once you accumulated cash and you have some extra, no, ang ginagawa ng company is, of course, you don't want to sit all your cash and money on the bank. You want to grow it. So, investments are for accretion of wealth. No? So, kailangan i-invest ng company yan for getting more cash flows in the future. Okay, so some investments actually are the following that we are going to discuss: trading securities or financial asset at fair value through profit or loss, financial asset at fair value through other comprehensive income or OCI, investment in equity securities, investment in bonds, investment in associates, subsidiary, property, fund, investment in funds, and joint venture. Again, the purpose of investment is for accretion of wealth, capital appreciation, ownership control, and for meeting some business requirements. So, but my focus here will be the financial asset classification. So our learning outcomes, financial asset classification, what is financial asset? Okay, and then what will be the initial measurement? What will be the subsequent measurement? Okay, so that will be our learning outcomes. So what is financial asset? So this is, you need to remember. Okay, financial asset is a cash, a contractual right to receive cash or another financial asset from another entity, then a contractual right to exchange financial instrument with another entity under conditions that are potentially favorable. Of course, it should be favorable on our side. And then equity instrument of another entity. And then classification of financial assets under PFRS 9. Financial assets are classified namely financial asset at fair value through profit or loss, which this includes both equity and debt securities. Financial asset at fair value through other comprehensive income, or financial asset at fair value through other comprehensive income, or OCI. Financial asset at amortized cost. And then classification depends on the business model in managing financial assets. So it could be to hold investments in order to realize fair value changes, or to hold investments in order to collect contractual cash flows. Okay, before I move on, gagamit ako ng acronyms. So nandiyan yun. Actually, yung sa financial asset at fair value through profit and loss, I will use it as FA at FB through PL, TPL, okay? Or PL, FBPL. Pagka namang financial asset at fair value through other comprehensive income, I will use FA at FBOCI. Sa amortized cost, FA at AC. Okay? So, kagaya ng sinabi natin ng investments, di ba? For appreciation. So, ngayon, ginagawa ng company yon to realize fair value changes. So, these fair value changes should be for accretion of wealth. So, tataas yung fair value ng investments mo. And of course, you want to collect contractual cash flows. You want cash flows in the future. Okay? Now, let's move on. What is an equity security? So it encompasses any instrument representing ownership, shares, rights, warrants, acquire or dispose of ownership shares at a fixed determinable price. Okay, in simple language actually, ito is yung ownership interest in an entity. So magkakaroon ka ng ownership sa isang company, no? So it includes ordinary share, preference share, and other share capital. But equity securities do not include redeemable preferred share, treasury shares, and convertible debt. Okay? So again, equity security represent an ownership of interest in an entity. Hindi kasama ang redeemable preferred shares, treasury shares, and convertible debt. Okay, now let's move on to debt security. It is any security that represents a creditor relationship with an entity. So, ito is utang, loan. Okay, so a debt security has a maturity date and a maturity value. So, ano ba yung examples of debt securities? So, papasok na dyan yung corporate bonds, BSP treasury bills, government securities, commercial papers, preference shares with mandatory redemption date or are redeemable at the option of the holder. So these are debt securities that the company will have an interest percentage, no, or shares o marireceive nila na cash inflows in the future. Now, let's move on to initial measurement of financial assets. Paano ba nating mini-measure yan? So under PFRS paragraph 5.1.1, provides that the initial recognition shall measure a financial asset at fair value plus, in the case of financial asset not at fair value through profit or loss, transaction costs that are directly attributable to the acquisition of the financial asset. Ibig sabihin, not a fair value through profit or loss, ang transaction cost ay kasama, no? Yung directly attributable. In other words, no, ang initial recognition is normally kasama ang transaction price, meaning the fair value of the consideration given. Okay? Initially at fair value. Okay? Fair value of a financial asset at initial recognition is normally at the transaction price, meaning the fair value of the consideration given. So, in-emphasize ko yan. Okay? Next. Ano ba yung transaction cost? No, yung transaction cost, kagaya ng sabi ko, directly attributable to the acquisition of the financial asset. So, shall be capitalized as cost of the financial asset. Okay? However, no, if the financial asset is held for trading or if the financial asset is measured at fair value through profit or loss, transaction costs are expensed outright. So it's very clear. Kung FB through P&L, that is transaction costs are expensed outright. Kung yan ay financial asset held for trading, so that is also an expense outright. It should not be part of the cost in the initial measurement. Okay? So sample are fees and commissions paid to agents, advisors, brokers, dealers, and advisors fees, securities and exchange fees, transfer taxes, and duties. So these are very important kasi lagi yang pampalito kung isasama mo o hindi ang transaction cost. Okay? Ano naman ang subsequent measurement? Now, under PFRS 9, paragraph 5.2.1 provides that after initial recognition, an entity shall measure a financial asset at pwedeng fair value through profit and loss, FVPL, fair value through other comprehensive income, or the FVOCI, or at amortized cost. Magbibigay ako ng sample later ng illustrations kung paano natin gagawin yan sa part 2, okay, of this lesson. So, financial assets value through profit and loss meron tayong held for trading or trading securities. We have quoted equity instrument. We have irrevocable designation. Okay. And we have PFRS 4.1.4, fair value through profit or loss by default. Okay. Now, let's go through equity investments at fair value through OCI. Okay. So, an initial recognition under PFRS 9, paragraph 5.7.5 provides that an entity may make an irrevocable election to present in OCI changes in fair value of an instrument in equity instrument that is not held for trading. So kung hindi yan held for trading, hindi yan trading securities, then it will go through OCI. Tandaan. Okay? Now, kung irrevocable approach designed to impose discipline in accounting for non-trading equity security. So the amount is recognized in other comprehensive income, not reclassified to profit or loss under any circumstances. Okay? Tatandaan, hindi siya magiging part o magiging reclassified through P&L pagka irrevocable approach. If the investment in equity instrument is held for trading, the election to present gain and loss in other comprehensive income is not allowed. Kung yan ay held for trading na kagad, then hindi siya allowed to go through P&L. Okay? If the investment in equity instrument is held for trading, subsequent changes in fair value are always included in profit or loss. Kung yan ay held for trading, no, automatically the fair value are always included in fair profit or loss. So any subsequent changes. Okay. Now, debt investment at amortized cost. So under PFRS 9, paragraph 4.1.2 provides that a financial asset shall be measured at amortized cost if both the following conditions are met. So there is a criteria. Mini-mention ko lagi yung PFRS number and then yung paragraph for you to have a reference. So you can check. Okay, and you can read. So the business model is to hold financial asset in order to collect contractual cash flows on specified date. So there is a specified date to collect the cash. Then the contractual cash flows are solely payments of principal and interest on the principal amounts outstanding. Okay. Now there is a note here. Financial asset shall be measured at amortized cost if the conditions are met. So both conditions should be met. Okay? So laging tatandaan yan. Okay, so next. Debt investments at OCI or other comprehensive income. So under PFRS 9, paragraph 4.1.2a provides that a financial asset shall be measured at fair value through other comprehensive income if both the following conditions are met. So there's always two conditions, same as in equity instrument, okay? So here, the business model is achieved both by collecting contractual cash flows and by selling financial asset. So meaning there is a sale that is going to happen. Then the contractual cash flows are solely payments of principal and interest on the principal amounts outstanding. Okay, note. In this case, interest income is recognized using effective interest method as in amortized cost measurement. Okay? Again, the business model includes selling the financial asset in addition to collecting contractual cash flows. Okay? Kung merong the recognition, the cumulative gain and loss recognized in other comprehensive income shall be reclassified to profit or loss. Kung may the recognition, pwedeng reclassify through profit or loss. Okay, so the measurement of that investment at amortized cost or at fair value through other comprehensive income, no, lagi mong tatandaan, there is a possibility of interest income. Okay, there is an interest income actually. Okay, So those are the lessons for today. I hope you understand the financial asset classification. And I cite some uh, PFRS for the initial measurement and then subsequent measurement. Please do memorize all of them. So on the next lesson, I will give some illustration and probably a summary na rin kung ano ba yung PN, fair value through PNL, ano ba yung not held for trading, ano ba yung held for trading, saan ba kasama yung transaction ko. So gawan ko siya ng summary for the next topic, no? So yun yung investments part 2. I will do some illustrations. Again, thank you so much. If you have any families and friends, please share it with them. And you can go to my Facebook page, which is at CPA Dreams. I'm doing a daily multiple choice questions. Okay, and then aside from that, please do subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. So again, Jonathan Ruiz, your accounting coach, survival tips. See you on the next lesson.